Mac and cheese is one of those meals that whether you're an adult or a kid, you find yourself craving from time to time. And really, what's one way to make it better? Maybe if you had previously smoked some brisket and you had some point left, and well, that's exactly what we did. We made smoked Blamco Mac and Cheese. And I have to say, for the first time making smoked mac and cheese, or mac and cheese in general, on a pellet grill, absolutely loving how this turned out. So if you want to know more about how we personally made mac and cheese on the zgrills 700 2C2E, make sure to check this out. But y'all, sit back, relax, and I'm going to go eat. Now for this Blamco mac and cheese, we're going to be using 3 cream cheese blocks, and we are going to smoke these. And now all you need to do is go ahead and put your favorite rub on here, whether that be everything bagel seed, some holy cow meat church, or maybe some Heath Riles competition barbecue rub, or maybe even one that I have not tried as of yet, but it's the pecan praline type of bit, the pecan rub from Meat Church. It's one of those things that I absolutely love the cover of this, and I don't know if you can tell my sense of humor, but maybe you can see why I absolutely love the cover of that right there. And yes, I want to try this out because this one has a bit of a sweetness to it, and I want to see how that does. But I think this little bit of a mixture of the type of rubs that we're going to use, I think that it's going to help make the Blamco mac and cheese that much better. But yeah, let's get in here and let's get this last one down, and then we'll move the beef jerky around and we'll put this on here to smoke for just a few hours. Now, since we're making a smoked version of Blamco mac and cheese, we are going to be using some smoked cheddar and some smoked Gouda. Now, we, during the wintertime, went ahead and smoked this cheese. As you can see in this little photo that we're going to be showing, we used snow. And yes, friends, we used a cold smoking method because to cold smoke cheese is the best way, because then you don't risk the cheese melting on you. And it was so funny to my brain to actually do this because we used snow, something that us in Georgia don't necessarily get a lot of. And now what you're seeing me do right here is just take off a little bit of the excess layer on the outside, because if you go through and you eat that outside skin, friends, I'm going to tell you what, it tastes a lot like liquid smoke. It's a very, very dirty smoke flavor. So all I'm wanting to do is just take off a little bit of this and then get in here and get this sliced up. And we're going to be using an electric little shredder because I've never used that thing before, and I've had it for a little bit of time now, probably a couple of months. I haven't had a reason to shred my own like cheese or anything like that. I normally just buy the store brand, shredded cheddar and stuff like that. But the more I say anything about cheese or anything like that, I'm going to have a cheese tack imposed on me. Now, like I said, never used this before, but let's get in here and let's see what this is kind of like and see how well this little Presto magic machine works. Okay, yeah, that works out better than I thought it was. And let's just go ahead and take a little bit of this. And see, there's a smoky flavor to that, but it's not overpowering. And now we have our cheddar right here just to give it that little bit of a yellow look. This is the first time I'm opening this up, and boy howdy am I excited to get in here and try this out. Now, as you can see, this is not a cheddar sharp cheese color. This is not going to be the same way that it is inside of the game. I grabbed the Swiss and the mild, but we still have some Gouda in there, and I still have some Havarti, some more Gouda, and some sharp cheddar cheese. So we're just going to be having a bit of a Blamco bit. And I don't know about you, but if you've played Outer Worlds, do you call Havarti cheese now Pavarti cheese? Because I do. I don't know what it is. I just always giggle every time I do that. Now, in getting ready to make some smoked Blamco mac and cheese, what we have done is we've had the cream cheese sitting on here for 2 hours at 165 degrees. And y'all, let's take a gander at how this is looking. Oh my. This is looking absolutely wonderful. I'm going to leave this on probably for another 30 minutes to an hour just to let that get a little bit more smoke flavor. But as you can see, it is cracking and it is getting right there. Now look, I'm going to be real with you. Not all of this is going in the mac and cheese. I might have to go get me some chips, you know, just to have a little dip and see how it tastes. Now, I did forget that I did have some mild cheddar, and I did just pay the cheese tax. So it's about ready to add this pasta inside of the cheese, and then add a little bit more smoked cheese, little concoction, and then add some of the mild cheddar to give it that bit of a yellow tint. But as you can see, everything is looking so good. Everything has grown in size. And now let's go ahead and put this in here. Now I'm going to dump out a little bit of the water, not a lot of bit. I always keep a fair small amount, just about that right there. And then I'm going to dump out the absolute rest. Now this is going to be hot, so we cannot touch it. But let's go ahead and add in the heckin' pasta shells. Put this back here. And I'm just going to stir in a little bit of this just to see the kind of sizing that we have inside of the pan before I add anything in. But yeah, let's grab a handful of this mild cheddar cheese, an absolute heckin' handful to boot. And here's the great thing about it is you may think to yourself, well, Gassy, that's not a lot of cheese. Friends, did you forget the cut already of having 3 cream cheese blocks? Though, like I said, I don't think I'm going to use all of that cream cheese, but absolutely positively we are going to be using a fair bit of this. And like I said, we would use probably about 1/4 or 1/2 of that bag, and we'll find something else to do with it. Maybe like a, you know, in a tomato bacon sandwich or something like that, just to give a little bit of smoke flavor. But I think this is going to be a great mix. 2 handfuls of the shredded cheddar cheese, and then also we'll have the cream cheese in here. And as this stuff starts to melt, it'll look so good. But we're going to put this back on the smoker to let everything help melt down, not just to rely on the heat coming from the pasta. But as you can see, things are already starting to melt and things are already starting to look so heckin' good. But yes, we'll get out there, throw this on the grill after we add in the cream cheese. Oh my God, this is gonna be so good. And I feel so bad for my wife. Oh my God. She's lactose intolerant, y'all. So I tell you who's gonna be eating the majority of this mac and cheese. Let's go. But yeah, as you can already see, oh, that is, that's gonna be so good. Now it's time to check in on the mac and cheese, and also guess what, the brisket. Oh yeah, we had a little bit left over of the point, and you know what I said? I said, hey, what would be better with Blamco mac and cheese but some mother heckin' brisket? That's right, friends. Look at this. That just, if that doesn't say, it just absolutely just whoop. And guess what we're gonna do with this? I'm gonna eat it. But we're going to put it in here. As you can see, everything is looking absolutely wonderful. I cannot wait to sit here and try this. The cheese flavor is just absolutely coming through right now. Now, before we get in here and we add all of that in, I just want to have a small little bite. As you can see, oh my God, this is so cheesy. That is so good. I know what I'm taking to lunch with me tomorrow. I know exactly what I am taking to lunch with me tomorrow. But you see, this right here will be a perfect piece to go inside of my mouth and not even to the mac and cheese. Do a little brisket dance. Little brisket dance. But yeah, all we're gonna do is this right here. Just crunch it up, add it in there, shred it up just in our hand, and that is how amazing this is. I mean, just look at it. It just pulls. It's been sitting in here warming up for about an hour or so. Just a little over. We just got done doing a little bit of Fallout 76, and I looked down and I was like, oh, it's time to go get the mother heckin' brisket and the mac and cheese out. But look at this. Oh my gosh. That is looking so good. Well, you know, a whole couple of handfuls for the mac and cheese. And, you know, one for me. You know, a couple for the mac and cheese and one for me. That sounds like a good little bit. And now look, is this mac and cheese and brisket combo good? Let's find out. Because I know they're good away from themselves, right? I know that they're good individually. But as far as it goes, get a little bit of mac and cheese in here, a little bit of a brisket. Just pull that down, and let's see how this tastes. Oh my God. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you right now, brisket mac and cheese, I'll just take the whole thing right into my office. That little bit of fat that's going to be coming from this brisket is going to add so much flavor in here. Let it sit overnight in like a Tupperware container. Oh my God. That on top of beef jerky. We've got chicken. We did turkey. We did some heckin' cooking this weekend. And look, seriously, thank you so much for being around, you know, for the ride. Having this bit of creative outlet is such a wonderful thing because I love playing video games, but I love to be outside, and having a pellet smoker really does add to that creative juices that are flowing through. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to check this video out. Thank you so much to the channel members for the continued support. Y'all have a great, wonderful day out there in the wasteland. Peace. Love you.